Melinda, I heard you were in the hospital.
Hello, Marge. Yes, I'm in the hospital.
I was so surprised when I heard from Ken.
I'm sorry to make you worry.
So, you'll be discharged tomorrow, right?
Huh? Tomorrow?
Oh no, did you forget? We have guests coming tomorrow. I told you to come here first thing in the morning and help preparing, didn't I? Oh, before that, I'll need you to clean the room where everyone will be gathering and the entrance.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid that's not possible tomorrow.
Well, not only you are suddenly hospitalized, but you can't even fulfill your duties as a wife. Why did Ken choose such a useless wife?
No, this hospitalization?
Quiet. If you're not injured, you're sick. Sick means useless. It's going to be difficult to produce an heir to a family.
No, that's why...
I won't argue with you. I heard that you've been pushing Ken to do the housework lately, because you're always sick.
I wasn't pushing him.
I often see Ken shopping at the supermarket on his way home from work. I can't believe you make him stop by the supermarket in his suit. It must be embarrassing. And haven't you gained some weight recently? It shows you've been lazy and making your husband do the housework. Oh, poor Ken.
Well, Marge...
I'm going to ask you to divorce him.
What?
We'll start talking about divorce as soon as you get out of the hospital.
That's too sudden.
There's no way I'm going to have a decent child by a feeble, useless wife. I find Ken a healthier and more energetic wife.
Oh, no.
I have nothing more to say to you. After the divorce, please don't ever come near my house again. Leave Ken alone. Melinda, you said today was the day you were discharged from the hospital, right? I just went to your hospital room and you weren't there. Did we miss each other?
Ken, sorry. My father came to pick me up.
Oh, your father?
I'm at my parents' house now.
I didn't know you were going back there when you got out of the hospital. Is something wrong?
Yeah.
Is it my mom again? Can you tell me what's going on?
On my first day in the hospital, I got a message from your mother. She said she didn't want you to have a sick, useless wife, and that she wanted me to divorce you.
What? Sick? You had no choice but to be in the hospital this time, right?
I tried to explain that too, but she seemed to misunderstand my pregnancy for becoming fat because of my laziness. As she was rambling on and on, she kept saying unreasonable things to me one after the other. I stopped talking.
Oh, well, I think that's fine. If you had taught her, she probably would have gotten annoyed anyway. I think it's a good time for you to go home and relax for a while. It's obvious that Mom is causing you a lot of stress. I feel better all around if you stay at your parents' home.
I'm sorry I didn't discuss this with you beforehand. I was planning to come back, but this morning, my father suggested that I should come back their home. I thought about the possibility that my mother-in-law, who loves her son so much, might find out about my every move. So I thought it would be better to tell you after the fact.
Yeah, that's good. That was the right thing to do. In fact, she's been staying in the house since you were hospitalized.
Is that so?
Under the current circumstances, it's not a good idea for you two to see each other. She said she would do the housework until you get better. I was worried that she might do something when I wasn't around. And now here you are. Nice decision by your dad.
Well, good.
Let's not correct she misinterpreted your pregnancy as weight gain. I'll take care of things over here. You should get some rest now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Melinda, I heard you gave birth to a grandchild. And it's a boy. That's great. But aren't you a bit secretive? I can't believe you were pregnant. You haven't come back here once since you got out of the hospital. I suggested to Ken that you get a divorce, but he just said he didn't want to. I couldn't talk to him about anything because he became so grumpy. Now that I think about it, you were pregnant. So you went back home to have your parents help you with their baby. To tell the truth, you should have given birth here instead of going back to your parents' house. Well, You gave birth to a boy who will be the heir to the family. I'll let you off the hook for this one time. So, when are you coming back here? I think it's been about a month since the birth. We're gonna show off our heir of the family to all our relatives and neighbors. Come back as soon as possible.
Long time no see, Marge. I have no intention of going back there.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're my son's wife. You're not even allowed to run back to your parents' house easily. You have a lot of negative problems. Being a sick and useless wife. You need to make up for that by serving your family the best you can.
A sick and useless wife? I have never been healthier in my life when I was hospitalized.
Oh, well, then why were you rushed to the hospital? If you weren't so feeble, it wouldn't have happened, would it?
I was suffering from morning sickness.
Morning sickness?
I could barely stand up, so the doctor recommended that I should be hospitalized.
You were hospitalized at a gynecology clinic.
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me?
I lost the desire to tell you.
Huh?
I was gonna tell you about the pregnancy when I was stable, but when I was gonna be hospitalized, we thought we should tell you even though it's earlier than we had planned. Ken and I were talking about it. Before I could tell you, I received an angry message from you calling me a feeble wife.
Oh.
Oh, Marge. When I tried to explain the reason for my hospitalization, you interrupted me, told me to shut up and not to talk back. You went on and on complaining about me. At this rate, if my baby was a girl, I was afraid of what you might do to me while I was pregnant. I decided to take refuge at my parents' house and keep quiet until the baby was born safely.
Oh, I see. Well, it turned out to be a boy after all. Let's just say everything turned out all right. And let bygones be bygones.
Huh?
So, when are you coming back? I can't wait to see the face of my grandson.
Do you think it's that simple? Goodbye.
What? Wait, Melinda. Mom, it's Ken. Oh, Ken. Hey, I was just messaging with Melinda. I know. I was watching from the side. Oh, you're with Melinda? Yeah, I'm with her. We're together. I moved in with Melinda at her parents' house. What? I'll get to the point. The point? I honestly don't care about being the firstborn, or about how my wife should behave and so on. What? My first priority is to protect my family, Melinda and my son. I'm not gonna have a mother who bullies my precious family members. I'm cutting you out of my life. Cutting me out? Of course I won't let you hold your grandchild ever. Oh no! The grandchild is our family's heir. So are you. You think you're gonna get away with this? Dad agreed. So it's okay, right? What? You know what? What do you mean about the heir? Only you say old-fashioned things like that. We are just a regular working family. But, well, that's it then. Don't bother us anymore. Wait, Ken.
Later, apparently, my mother-in-law was making vicious phone calls and texted me. I had already said rejecting and blocking of calls while she was messaging with my husband, so it was no problem. The next day, my husband and I changed our phone numbers. After that, my mother-in-law was desperately searching for the whereabouts of her beloved son, Ken, and her grandchild. She's a person who's not interested in information about her daughter-in-law to a splendid degree, so she does not know the address of my parents' house. I'm spending my days peacefully without any fear of being abused. On another note, I have been in contact with my father-in-law, who has been very understanding of our situation. He sometimes tells me how my mother-in-law is doing. He said that she doesn't know the meaning of remorse, and so that the day when she can see her grandchild may never come. He also said the word divorce has appeared in his mind lately.
Come on, Hannah. Answer. Hannah?
Long time no see.
Long time no see. You haven't contacted me in 2 months.
What?
What do you mean, what? You still don't realize you're the wife of this family, do you?
No.
As a husband's mother, I went out of my way to contact you. No matter what, replying is the highest priority. That's another thing you should know as a wife, okay? So be careful next time.
Excuse me, but...
I haven't finished talking yet. Don't interrupt. Just be quiet and listen to me.
Huh?
First, the other day, I got to see where you guys moved to.
Where we moved to?
Then, well, you haven't done any housework at all. There were dirty clothes all over the place. The dishes had not been washed. There were snack bags and a ton of convenience store sandwich wrappers in the trash. There was also a mountain of beer cans left on the table. My Kevin doesn't drink, so it must be you, right?
No, I'm allergic to alcohol.
I told you not to interrupt.
Sorry.
Also, the dust was so thick. You haven't vacuumed, have you? I allowed you to work after marriage because you said you could balance housework and work life. If it means not to take care of your husband, then quit your job. After all, a woman should stay at home after marriage.
Are we done here?
Huh?
You seem to have made a lot of mistakes, so let me correct them.
I won't allow you to talk back to me.
We are divorced.
Yes, I know.
What? Even though you know you called me your daughter-in-law or his wife?
Of course. Listen, Hannah. Even if you get divorced, as long as you live together, you're Kevin's wife and my daughter-in-law. You should be devoted to your beloved husband and treat me, his mother, with respect.
Do you understand what you're saying? Divorce means we're apart. From the day we stopped being husband and wife, we started our separate lives. It's weird to talk about taking care of each other.
I thought I told you. Do not talk back to your mother-in-law.
This is not back-talking. I'm being perfectly reasonable.
How so? I'll say it again. If you neglect taking care of your husband, you are not qualified as a wife. If you can't balance business and housework, then get out of the business. If you want, I can tell your company that you're resigning.
Don't do that. I'm sure I wouldn't be let go based on someone else's submission, but I don't want you to make trouble at work.
Then why don't you just resign?
If I do that, I won't be able to make a living.
Well, what's with the tone of voice? Are you saying that you can't live on his salary?
That's not what I meant.
That's just because you're not a good enough wife. Being good at making ends meet is also the role of a wife, who is supposed to protect the family.
I'm divorced now, so I'm not his wife.
You still say that? Divorce is no reason to neglect housework.
Well, whatever. I'm living in another part of the country now.
What?
I got transfer offer right after the divorce, so I moved.
Well, the wife is living away on business? Oh my God.
I'm not his wife, and I'm not living away on business.
You should quit right away and come back.
What?
Well, I'm not a monster, so I'll give you some time. I've heard it takes about a month to resign, so I'll wait that long. I'll take care of Kevin during that time. You need to hurry up and resign and come back to Kevin.
I told you I'm divorced.
Please stop quibbling.
Quibbling?
You got that?
Kevin, long time no see. Can you talk now?
Hey, Hannah. Long time no see.
I'm sorry for contacting you, even though we are divorced.
No, that's totally fine. We didn't get divorced because we weren't getting along. I'm sure things will change if I get a girlfriend, but for now, don't worry about it.
Yeah, great.
So, what's up?
I need to talk to you about your mom.
Oh, my mom? What did she do this time?
She contacted me the other day, but she doesn't make any sense.
What happened?
To sum it up, She said that even though we were divorced, I was still her daughter-in-law and Kevin's wife, so I had to take care of Kevin. And if I can't balance work and housework, then I had to resign from my job.
What? Then what did you say to her?
I told her that we were divorced, so we weren't obligated to each other, and that I wasn't her daughter-in-law or his wife now. And she was like, even if we were divorced, yada yada. It was going nowhere. I gave up.
Oh, God. You still can't get through to her, can you?
Speaking of which, she still calls you my Kevin.
Stop. You're making me depressed.
I'm sorry. You still haven't gotten over yet?
About that, right after we got divorced, my parents separated.
Oh, really?
After that, my mom's interference with me got worse. I just wanted to get away. I left my parents' house in the middle of the night a week ago, sneakingly.
I see. That must have been hard on you, too.
She's the reason we got divorced. I thought I could help you escape if I divorced you. I guess I was naive.
I'll be fine. Actually, I was transferred to a place quite far away. I'm not worried about her bursting in on me or anything.
Oh, really? Then that's good.
But don't I need to worry about you?
Why me?
Your mother. When she found out I couldn't take care of you, she says she'd do it herself. Does this mean she knows where you live now?
Huh? I didn't tell her.
You didn't? Well, yesterday's message made it sound like she'd already been inside your house. Is it possible that the address leaked out from somewhere, and she broke in while you were gone?
No, that wouldn't happen.
How do you know for sure?
I just got a new job. I'm in a dormitory. They have a rule that outsiders, even family members, can't come in without permission. It's a long way from my parents' house, so I'm pretty sure they haven't been there.
I see.
That's a mystery.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. It's not like any real harm has been done.
Oh, so it's okay then.
As for me, I'm not planning on going back to my parents' house anymore. In fact, I haven't even really read her messages. I'm going to block her eventually. I don't care what my mom does. I've decided to handle it that way.
I see.
I think it's okay for you to block Mom too. You're in no more of a position to have anything to do with it than I am, and I don't want you to get stuck with her anymore.
I agree. I've been kind of concerned about what she's been up to, so I just left it as it was. I think I'll just keep an eye on things and eventually block her.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I'm gonna go take a shower.
Okay, thanks for today. Good night.
Good night. Hey, Hannah, what's this all about?
What is it?
I was cleaning Kevin's room. A woman I don't know suddenly came in. She screamed, "What are you doing in my room?" I wondered what was going on, and then a middle-aged man came in, and they started fighting. And he was yelling at me, too. I was so freaked out that I hid myself in the bathroom. I don't know what's going on.
I'm afraid that I don't think this house has anything to do with Kevin.
Huh?
Where are you now?
I'm in an apartment on James Street.
What? Is it being an apartment building called James Street Heights?
Yes, it is. Room 202. I'm here to clean up the mess instead for you, since you aren't taking care of Kevin. You and Kevin live here, right?
Why did you think that?
Because there were enough dishes for both of you. And now you're making no sense.
That apartment? It was my aunt's apartment, where I was staying for about 10 days right after my divorce.
Your aunt?
But my aunt moved out of there a month and a half ago. So it must be preoccupied by new people now.
That can be right, because the address of this place was in Kevin's room. I found the note in his desk.
I think Kevin just wrote down what I told him.
Huh?
When I left your house, he was supposed to mail me anything I may have forgotten. I told him I'd be there until the certain date, so he was supposed to send it to me. Maybe he forgot to throw away the old notes.
What the? I thought he left me his address. so I could see him anytime, so I didn't have to look for him. Then, where is Kevin now?
I don't know.
Tell me.
He didn't tell me either.
I know you're lying. How can a wife not know where her husband is?
As I said before, we are already divorced.
So, even if you're divorced?
You're the cause of a divorce.
What? Me?
Kevin has always hated you being overbearing. After we got married, you treated me as if I were your personal servant. He thought it was his fault. He was driven into a manor corner.
What?
After talking it over, Kevin and I decided to lighten the load by divorcing. And here we are now.
Oh no. What's wrong with the mother caring about her son?
I said he was overbearing. Kevin was burdened by your excessive doting.
I beg your pardon?
By the way, are you sure you want to continue?
What?
You're currently holed up in someone else's bathroom.
Oh no! I hear police sirens outside.
Well, I'm sure you do. First, let's talk about the apartment key. After the current residents, a working couple, forgot to lock the door when they went to work. Then my ex-mother-in-law broke into the apartment. She found the key left on the table and made a duplicate key without permission. Every few days, she visited the place to take care of her son. Finally, on the day, she ran into the couple who lived in the house. So, my ex-mother-in-law got into trouble with the police. This triggered my ex-father-in-law, who she was separated from, to slap divorce papers on her. She cried like a baby, saying that she didn't want to be alone, without knowing the whereabouts of her beloved son. With no family home, and no one to rely on, she began to live alone. Now she lives in an apartment